talked about multiplying fractions, and just as a quick review, I'm going to show you what we did then. We said something like this times, and basically I told you then that I taught your children just to multiply the numerators like this, and then multiply the denominators like this, and that this would be their answer. I know that there's times when if we multiply them, we come up with a fraction that's not in lowest terms, and I haven't emphasized cross-canceling because sometimes they get confused by that. Rather, what I've taught them was to prime factor to reduce, and that's covered in another video. For this week, we're going to talk about dividing fractions and mixed numbers, and basically, if you understood multiplying, then you already know dividing, because to divide fractions, what you actually do is you flip the second fraction. We call that a divisor. We call it inverting the divisor, actually. We invert the divisor, and then we multiply. So let me give you an example. If you're going to divide 1/2 by 4/5, you flip the second fraction. You invert the divisor. So it becomes 5/4. And then you change the sign to multiplication, and then you do just like we did in the last video. You multiply straight across and you get 5, and you multiply straight across and you get 8, and you're all finished. Now you've just divided fractions. Okay, so now what happens when there are mixed numbers? Well, again, if you remember from the last video, I showed you how to turn a mixed number into an improper fraction. So let's say we're going to divide 1/2 by 2 1/4. We first go to improper fractions. Improper means 2 times 1 is 2 and 1 more is 3. 3/2. That's an improper fraction. And we say 4 times 2 is 8 and 1 more is 9/4. Now we're still under the division symbol. Now we do what I just demonstrated. You flip the divisor. You say this is 4/9. You change the sign, and then you multiply. 3 times 4 is 12, and 2 times 9 is 18. Now again, I know that this is not in lowest terms, and again, as I said before, I've taught your children now to take this and prime factor the 12, prime factor the 8, and reduce it that way. I would much rather have it that way. It's much simpler. There's less complication, and in the past, as I said, I've found children that got just so confused by cross-canceling, and this method was much more straightforward for them. So, this is dividing fractions. Now, as a quick review, let me just put one up here and let you have a chance to try it. Say 2.5 divided by 1 1/4. Now go ahead and do it. The first thing you're going to do is this: improper fractions. While I'm writing this on the board, you could be doing it. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to flip, we'll use that word flip, the divisor. Very important that we say divisor, because that reminds them that we're talking about division. If not, years later they may get confused, they may forget, when was it I flipped that second fraction? And then they'll flip it on addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. It won't really matter. But if they say flip the divisor from now, and they get the word divisor in there, they'll never forget that it's division that this takes place on. The third step is to change the sign and multiply. Right, now that's my steps right there. So let's just do it. Let's let you see what that looks like in action. 2 times 2 is 4, and 1 more is 5/2. Divided by 4, and 1 is 5/4. Now flip the divisor. 4/5 times 5/2, and you're going to get 20/10. Now, when we have an improper fraction as an answer, I've also taught your children to go ahead and divide the denominator into the numerator, and the reason I do is because that's my final answer right there. And that's about all there is to dividing fractions. Again, you're free to watch the video over if you need to, or give me a call if you need any extra help. If not, well, I hope this helped you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.